to the Baylor Bears, Russ, who are, first off, let me just say this because we mentioned Kenyon Sadiq at the top of the show. A lot of people feel like he's the number one tight end, but Michael Trigg has been atop of our big board for most of the season at Baylor. Huge size, catch radius, fearless over the middle. This guy makes big play after big play, deceptive speed. He's got to, sharpen some of his route running, but just natural hands, a playmaker for the Baylor Bears offense, and probably Sawyer Robertson's favorite target. And I want to talk about Sawyer Robertson because I have studied him extensively. And I know, this is a guy, don't get caught by the box score, right? Because I know a lot of people have thought very highly of Sawyer Robertson. If you look at the stats, it looks very good. But when you watch him play, there is nothing clean about his mechanics, his release, his upper body and lower body are not working in unison. And what frustrates me the most about Sawyer Robertson, he could toss around the parking lot for 400 yards every game. I could care less. When he makes the easy throws hard for his receivers because of poor timing, because of off-platform throws, not being able to, you talk about being able to throw your receiver open. Sawyer Robertson does none of that. Now, he's got a very quick release, right? But the errant throws, the poor mechanics, throwing off the back foot constantly, this is not a NFL-ready type of quarterback by any means. Now, maybe the bloodlines help him out. He is the cousin of Jarrett Stidham. His father was a first-round pick of the MLB draft by the Montreal Expos back in 1990. So he's got a little bit of bloodlines working for him. I'm just not a believer. I would not even use a draft pick on Sawyer Robertson, but I have seen him spoken of very highly. I don't see it when I watch him, Russ.
Well, I think what you see, what you're saying, it matches what I see, what I think everybody's talking about is if you take the physical skill set, arm strength, release quickness, athletic ability, it's there. There's no doubt about that. But when you watch the game, you don't see consistency. When I watch him, what I see is a kid that probably at 8 or 9 was so much better than everybody that he just became that quarterback we all remember that would just run around and dominate when he was young playing football, gets to high school, keeps doing the same thing, and he's never really improved on the small things. And that's where he needs work. Now, I will say, if you're a team like the Patriots or the Josh McDaniel or the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, who have guys that are really good at breaking down the fundamentals and training guys, he'd be a great guy in the 7th round or 6th round. Throw a dart because I think physically there's something there. Now, odds are it's probably never going to translate, but get him with a coach who's really good at teaching the fundamentals, getting the feet placed correctly, getting the mechanics. You mentioned the quick release. Quick release isn't everything. A lot of quarterbacks fall in love with, I get rid of the ball fast. Don't have to worry about anything else. Don't have to worry about the trajectory, the arm angle. Don't have to worry about my feet at all because the ball's coming out quickly. That's not right. So with Robertson, I think the point you make is great is there's something there, but we've seen a lot of guys where there was something there and it never developed because there are so many things that he needs to do. So, yeah, frustrating guy.
Bryce Petty comes to mind of Baylor quarterback, right? Just kind of never
developed. Yep. And I don't even know if Bryce had this kid's pure physical. I mean, this kid, the ball, he can spin it.
Yeah.
But you don't know where it's going. And that's the real concern there is the consistency. And it's interesting because you mentioned Trigg, but they've got a good amount of weapons. It's not like it's only Trigg. Trigg's a very athletic kid. He's got good hands. He can run. But they have Josh Cameron, the big receiver, big 6'1", 220-pound kid, underrated athlete, runs better than I think people think. And then they have 2 kids who weren't even on the list coming into the year that are playing a significant role in Ashton Hawkins, 6th-year receiver, and Cole Wilson. Both these guys are littler guys in that 5'9" range, but they've been productive players this year for them. When I say productive, that's productive for an offense that I think is a little bit underachieved at times. But those are both guys that they're not getting drafted. They're PFA type guys. But I think when you look at that offense overall with Cameron, with Trigg, with Hawkins and Wilson, they have some targets. Ashton Hawkins, he's an intriguing kid. He's developed over his career. He may be a 6-year guy, but there's something there. They have 2 good guards. When you look at Langhall and Adebayan, if I'm saying that correctly, not guys that are going to get consideration as early draft picks, but I think both of these guys are going to get a chance at the NFL level. On defense, it's really a young defense. Not many seniors that are playing a significant role. You have Jackie Marshall, defensive tackle. He's a good football player. Actually, when I watch Marshall, I think the thing that's weird is I know he's listed at 6'2", even. He looks smaller to me on film in terms of height. And I'm sure he's going to measure 6'2" because those are NFL measurements, but he looks like he's about 6 foot and change. But he's a good football player, shorter arms than ideal for a defensive tackle, but he's a good player. I think he's a mid-round type guy. And they have a safety named Devin Bobby. Not a big kid, but he constantly is making plays. I'm interested to see how he tests out. I don't know if he's got that twitchy speed that you look for in a safety, but this is a team that I can't figure out why they haven't won more games, because I do think they have talent both on offense as senior draft eligible and on defense with younger guys. This is a talented team. I'm surprised they're not better than 5-4, especially because we both know Dave is a hell of a football coach, and I'm shocked that they're not better because I think Dave is one of the better coaches in college ball. And, I know a lot of people love the fact that Rick was muted so they didn't have to hear his voice, but we got to have him talking.
Right. Hey, I do it at least once a week. That's Russ's favorite part of the show. He doesn't have to listen to my mouth. But, Baylor, that's why they might mess around and find out and actually win this game, because they do have the talent and they were expected to do big things. And one other guy, I love the redshirt sophomores because technically they are draft eligible.
Yeah, they are. And all those guys.
Yeah, Bryson Washington out of Baylor. And I don't know if he's a candidate to come out this year at 6'1", 220 pounds. But you just look at the way he's come on in recent weeks, and he's definitely going to be a name worth monitoring. In fact, he had 1,000 yards rushing last year. He's got 624 rushing yards this year, 18 touchdowns since last season. So a big part of that Baylor Bears offense. But I think, you basically touched base on everybody I wanted to discuss. Keaton Thomas, the linebacker, is somebody I think in that late round mix, just worth keeping an eye on, somebody who caught my attention and someone who the coaches speak very, very highly on as well. So there's a look at your Baylor